Hey guys, I'm April from Giggle Glitter Graphics, and this is going to be the last part of my Magic Forest Fairy Journal series. Today I'm going to be doing some flips and some waterfalls. I've got a couple pages marked out here. They're the last pages in the book that need work, and we're going to start with this one. So I came up with an idea for kind of a triple flip situation on here, and the bottom portion of this, I've got a piece of printed paper. It's printed on both sides, and I just kind of messed around with it, and I ended up with this little flippy pocket thing. So I decided I'm going to just kind of hook it over this page here. On the other side of this, there's actually this little bunny rabbit, and I like how when I flip this up, there's a rabbit here, there's a little space on the other side here where something could be added, plus there's a pocket. So I like how that looks, but I'm going to focus on this side of the page right now. I've also got this pocket from the fairy kit, and I think I'm going to layer this right under here. Bring this up just a little bit, and I'm gonna make a kind of double pocket situation. I think I'm going to glue this one down to make it a pocket here. I think let me grab my circle punch here and do a little, I'm not very good at centering these. Give it a whirl. Close enough. Make a little detail there. And then I'm gonna glue this down just at the top and bottom. I'm not sure if this is going to stay open because I think I'd like to add this bird here somewhere, and I could just tuck it under, I guess. I'm not sure. Let's get these glued down really quick and I will figure that out. So on this one, I want to make sure it stays attached. So I am going to glue the top and the bottom, but I also want to run a little glue along, not quite in the crease, but right above the crease so that it's secure for the flipping action on the other side of the page. And I'll just fold that over. There we go. So then I've got a couple pockets under here, and then I've got this page that's sewn in to flip over. It's got some journaling space on it, and while those pockets are drying, I want to add, I have this fairy stamp. This stamp is actually from my wedding. Oh goodness, about almost 20 years ago. So I thought she'd be very cute to add in, and I think I'm going to go with a purple ink on this. Ink her up really good there, and let's stick her. Okay, so let's move to the top layer. I wanted to make this little notebook up here. I've kind of laid the pieces out together. Let's move our book out of the way. So I'd like this whole panel to flip in and out on the book, but inside, move some of these decorations, I have cut some lined paper to make a notebook. I think just to make things easy, I'm going to punch some holes with my crocodile. This is just a piece of scrapbook paper. I use a slightly heavier than copy paper. This is a 32 pound paper. So it's got enough weight for me for this purpose instead of using cardstock. And this is just regular notebook paper from a spiral bound little pad. And then I cut it to fit. So let's grab the crocodile, and I'm going to use the smallest, the 1/8 inch hole setting. And just punch a couple holes. I'm not going to worry about it being exactly right as long as it's kind of on the crease. Not feeling meticulous today. There's one. There we go. And then I wasn't sure, I didn't want it to get too bulky. So I grabbed some ribbon. I was worried that would be a little too bulky. I'm actually gonna grab my bookbinding kit and pick out one of the wax threads. And I think I'm gonna go with this yellow one. I haven't even used this one yet. Put that to the side. So I'm gonna grab a piece of this and just use it to very quickly, when we need like double, plus a little extra, and just give this a quick attachment. All right, so I've gone through twice. So I've got 2 strings on the inside, 1 on the out, and I'm just gonna tie this in a knot. Super quick little book. Go. Let's just trim those ends off. So here's our little notebook. Make sure everything folds pretty well. That looks good. I'm gonna decorate the front of this. I'm gonna ink a little bit of this. I think I may just round these corners off really quickly with my corner rounding punch. I'm just going to do the top 2 because I want these ones to stay square. That's what's attaching here with a little washi tape or something like that to make this into a flip. So I'm just gonna round here using the small setting. And I've got some packing paper just for a little contrast. Tear that. And let's throw some ink on it. I think we'll go with, since there's some purple, we stamped our fairy in purple. Let's do our ink in purple. And I'm just gonna glue this down with my glue stick. Let me double check my placement really quickly. So I'm gonna put the flower on and then just do this little tag. Let's go ahead and do a tag as well with the purple. And then I think I'll go around the flower really quickly with my Galaxy Gold ink. All right, so I have Galaxy Gold around the flower. I've got this purple seedless preserves around the word and the paper. So I'm just gonna go with this. I'm gonna attach this all down with, my glue stick. All right, let's see here. We've got a little overhang, so let's trim that off. Go. So to make this flip, I'm just going to use some washi tape right over the edge. It's going to wrap right around to this other side. And I'm going to go with, I picked out this pink. I like how it pulls out some of the other colors. Okay, so I ran into some problems with that roll of washi tape and I didn't feel like dealing with it. So I'm going to pick out something else. Let's go with this green. Let's try this green. It just kept peeling and peeling and peeling and it wouldn't give me a nice piece. I think it's operator error. There we go. So I need it to be, I don't want it longer. Let's start with just putting this on here. And then I'm going to place this so that it lines up. And then I'll fold it over. think I like the green better anyway, so that works out. There, so we've got this flip. I'm going to reinforce the back of this with another piece of washi tape just to make sure it doesn't fall off. There we go. So now we have this. As you can see, this wants to flip open. So I am going to use some ribbon, I think. If I glue it onto the back, then I can give it a little tie on the front. I kind of like how that looks. So let's flip this over. And cut a piece of ribbon first before we try to glue anything. Let's make sure we have plenty of length. Keeping it kind of thin because this is a very skinny ribbon. Let's try to find the middle. Does this have a front and a back? Kind of, yes. There we go. That adds a little interest on the back as well. Now we can bring this to the front. So now we have our little notebook flip. We have our piece of journaling paper with our fairy stamps on it. Now we have this pocket. For now, I'm going to leave this pocket empty. I don't think I have anything. I have a bucket of things that I've been pulling from. And I don't see anything in there that I really want to put into this pocket. I think since I've got a lot going on here right now, I'm going to leave that open for me for future use. But I do have this bird that I would like to attach. And I think I'm going to ink the edges of it and attach it as far this way as I can to only this pocket. And that will still leave this open where I could slide something underneath here. And then that would make the bird really pop out later. So I'm gonna do that. And there's the dewdrop. Tiny little ink pad. There, that's better. So I'm gonna just grab my glue stick and put some glue on the back of this really quick. I love using fussy cuts to make little overhangs like this. I feel like it almost is kind of a hidden pocket in a way. There we go. Now we've got a cute little tuck spot there underneath. Grab one of these little flower cards just for fun. There we go. So we have 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layer. And I think we're gonna leave it like that for now. I might tuck a couple of things in. We'll see. The video after this is going to be the flip through video. And you will see in that video that a lot of the pages I worked on in this video series have had things added in. I put a lot of work into this first page and added a bunch of little goodies. So even if you've watched the crafting videos, check out the flip through when it's posted, because you're gonna see some changes and some new things, and I'll show you all the stuff I've stuffed in here since then. So, all right, I'm going to pick one of my little bookmarks here and get to the next page. All right, here we go. So I've got a couple things going on here. I'm going to do a really quick belly band and add on a little fabric here. This was an old sheet. It had some butterflies and flowers and things on it. And I'm just going to attach a strip of this along the side of this page. So let me glue that down really quickly. And then while that is drying, we will work on this surface over here. did glue some things. I'm hoping that that glue won't soak through too badly. I think it was okay. I tried some earlier, so there we go. So on this page, I'm going to do another kind of notebook flip situation, but this time I have this really big tree fussy cut and some notebook paper that I've made into these long strips and then folded them in half. So I've got, it's 4 sheets. I didn't want to make it too bulky, but it's a cute little journaling spot. And then I want to put it underneath of this, and I'm going to make it so that this flips up. And to be honest, I'm not sure the best way to do this. I kind of came up with this idea and I have no idea what I'm doing. So we definitely want to make sure that everything is going to flip properly. I think I might just glue it together into one big packet, maybe, and then glue the whole top down. So let's see how that works. Let's move our book out of the way. Grab just our pieces here. And I am going to use my scoreboard because I want to make sure that I get a nice crease on the top of this that is relatively straight. So it is a fussy cut, so it's probably not going to be absolutely perfect. So I'll just kind of go with what I got. And I want to make sure there's enough thickness at the top that it's going to be stable when it flips up and down. So I think right about there, do a couple of creases. Give that a little fold back and forth so it will actually move back and forth. And now we've got our pages, and I'm going to try to just glue all of these pages together at the top so that everything is kind of glued to this tab and then to each other under the tab. And I've got these cut already ahead of time so that they are not wider and they are not longer than the page. I am going to trim just a little off the bottoms of these really quick on my paper trimmer, so I'm going to do that real fast. Okay, so I just took off a tiny amount, but now there's some space here where there was not before. So I'm going to grab my glue stick and a piece of scrap paper, and let's glue right along here. Glue stick's getting a little rough. Hopefully this is gonna work like I think it will work. You are experimenting along with me. And attach that, center that right there. There we go. And then I'm gonna put glue stick right along the top back here and do the same thing. Let's see how this holds up. Again, this book is for me. And I love experimenting with things like this, so I'm not real worried. If something falls apart, I'll just glue it back in. And then I think we might just glue this entire back panel right down to the page to help kind of secure this whole piece in. So let me show you what's going to happen. Gonna go on the page. Definitely I'm gonna glue the whole top down. This will flip up and the pages can be flipped up. You know what, I'm gonna leave it loose. I'm just gonna attempt to glue only the top down and we'll see how that goes. If it doesn't seem like it's secure enough, then I will glue down that back page. So let me make sure I'm getting glue on all of this. So we'll see. And we want this up just a little bit because I'm gonna add a little closure to this so it's not kind of flapping around. There we go. let that dry. So for my closure, I'm gonna add this leaf fussy cut here. I have already inked all of these with vintage photo. I did that ahead of time. So I've got my leaf fussy cut, and I grabbed some of these foam dots. This is a really big one. I'm gonna go ahead and go with that one. It's just a dimensional square. I like to use these instead of brads and things. I'm always trying to minimize how much I'm spending on extra stuff. Though I would not be surprised if a bunch of stuff like that pops up eventually in my videos. I'm slowly adding to my collection with each project. I'll buy a couple things. So we'll see. Now I'm gonna put a piece of ribbon underneath of this, or a piece of cord or something like that to kind of wrap around. In fact, oh, I should have done this before I glued it down. It'd be nice if I put a grommet on there, and then I'd have a place to put my cord through. Let's see. I'm going to at least punch a hole, and we can do that by flipping it up. There we go. And we can kind of get to the center of that. I'll use my crop-a-dile. It's got a nice reach. Let's do a bigger hole. And let's try and find the center of this. Really quickly, right about, I don't know, right there. We're doing this unscientifically. I don't happen to see my ruler nearby. Here goes nothing. That wasn't too bad. A little off, but that's okay. And we've got this ribbon from earlier. I kind of like that. So let's just do, let's make it like cattywampus. Let's make it shorter on one side and then longer on the other, so it can kind of wrap around that to hold this down. And then we'll cut right here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in. I may come back and put a grommet on that, but I'm a little bit lazy and I don't want to struggle with that right now. So let's just poke this through. I can always come back and change it later. And pull it. And then we have our little closure. There we go. So now it's not flopping all over the place when we open and close the book. And open this up. And we have our pages. And that does kind of, an inadvertent thing is that this does open all the way. So I guess if I wanted to keep this secure, I'm going to need to glue all of these pages in between at the top, which totally makes sense. So let me do that. It's gonna be hard to get the glue stick in there. You're learning along with me today. So we'll just run a little glue in there, right there. And then we're gonna have to do the same thing here, a little glue right along there. And then we'll just squash that all down and let it dry. Tie that back in place, and then let's finish the other side over here. Gotten a lot of tools in the way. So this side is just going to be a quick belly band. This is a botanical card from my flower cards collection. I cut mine out with my Cricut machine using the PNG. So it's got this nice little rough edge going on. They also come with a background, so you can just cut them out square, which is nice when you just don't want to mess with all the extra fuss of trying to get the machine lined up. And I've already used vintage photo distress ink on the edges of this, and I will probably ink the edges of this as well. But really quickly, I'm just going to turn this into a belly band. So I'm going to glue the top and bottom of it. Kind of center it up over my painted paper. And then that's going to give us a place to slip in this piece of paper once it's dry. There we go. And that's it for this spread. I've got one or two more. I'm gonna flip through there and see how long it takes me to do the next one. And then we might do one more after that. I think I have a pocket page in there, but the next page is gonna be a waterfall page. So let me get everything set up for that and I'll be right back. All right, so we're gonna make a waterfall on this piece of brown paper here. I'm gonna leave this page blank, I think, just to have a little extra space for the future. And I've got 4 panels here I wanna work with. I've got this really pretty art card from the fairy kit. I've got some graph paper, which I folded up to make a pocket. I've got a piece of vellum that's been printed with paper print, and then a piece of notebook paper that's also been folded up at the bottom. I'm gonna ink these up and I'm gonna glue these pockets shut really quickly, and I will be right back. I've inked everything up and I've left the corners all square so they would all match. I did not ink the vellum. I wasn't sure that it would hold the ink, honestly, and I thought I would just leave it be. It's just add a little bit of texture in between these layers. So I'm going to attach all of these little waterfall panels with washi tape. I like to tape on both sides. Washi tape is one of my favorite things to use. I like it more than fabric. I don't really sew right now. I hate threading the machine. I should get it out. I have one. Maybe you'll see me sew in an upcoming video. I don't know. But for now, it's washi tape everything. And I want this, I'm gonna make this kind of cascade down at an angle. I don't want everything perfectly lined up underneath. I want to see things kind of poke out. I've used different colors of ink on all of these. I used purple on the photo card. I used the vintage photo on this lines paper, and I used the green, what one is that? Mowed lawn on the graph paper. And then I put the colors on the top and bottom with the brown in between, just to kind of make everything pop out and look a little more interesting. So I'm going to start with this top one. I think I'm going to start with the purple washi and tape in the top. And I'm just going to tape on the top sides of these for now. Okay, so I'm just gonna get the washi onto the picture. And then I'm gonna get it as close as I can to the top and the side without getting the card into the crease too much where it's gonna bind up a little bit. And we'll just do that for that one. So I want this next one to stick out some. I almost feel like it might be too wide. I think that's why I had that one on the bottom and this one in the middle. So we might need to let the pretty color stacking aesthetic go. Let's see. Nope, they are about the same. All right, well, then we're going back. I want this one to kind of peek out on this side while still not getting right into that crease. Let me flip this up, and we're going to use a different color of tape on this one. There we go. So now we've got 1, 2. So for this vellum piece, I want it to poke out as much as it can. Maybe go back this way. Let me see if I like the other side of this better. It is a little more graphic. So I've got, you can see where the edge of the print, there's a little unprinted. I'm gonna cut that unprinted line off real quick. So let's get that one right like that. Try to straighten it up, and we're gonna go back to our purple tape. There we go. And last pocket. I want this to kind of poke out over on this side. Right like that. And we'll go back to our flower tape. Had a little trouble with my tape tearing, but that's okay. I'm just gonna layer it up there and make it work. All right, there's our 4 little waterfall panels. I am going to tape the backs of these with the same color of tape just to Make sure that they're more secure because washi tape isn't super strong, but I like working with it because it's easy for me to work with. So I'll go through and do that really quickly, and then we'll see about tucking a couple of things inside or decorating these pockets just a little bit. We don't want to do too much because this is just a piece of packing paper. It's not as thick as some of these other pages, but I liked it as a backdrop for this waterfall, so I said, heck, let's try it, see what happens. So let me tape the back of these really quickly. So I'm looking through all of the pieces I have left. I try to use as much as I can when I'm using these printable kits. And I have a couple of tabs left. And I think I'm gonna put one kind of on the side here. I know that's not like a super functional tab position, but I like how it looks. And then another tab down here on this one. I don't know that a tab on the vellum is gonna look. It's a little bit clunky. I don't really care for how that looks. I think we'll just do the tabs. This is going to add to kind of the layering look. Yeah, right like that. And then I can maybe add something blingy to them. So let's just do vintage photo ink really quickly. Grab the glue stick and attach those on. All right, I'm gonna let those dry for a second. Let's pick out a couple of additional decorations for this page. Let's see what we've got here to tuck inside. Move some more supplies out of the way. Got this cute little fairy house fussy cut, and I've got this dragonfly. That one is not quite big enough to go into that pocket. Oh, let's do the carnation. I like how it looks with that washi tape and the green. So we'll tuck that in there. We've got this. What else do we have laying around? There's another fairy door. So let's go with this little mushroom right on the pocket as a decoration. Just want things to be a little interesting as I flip them up. That on there real quick with the glue stick. Let me grab my reach across here. Grab my glue stick. There we go. Little mushroom right there. And I think I'm gonna leave these pockets empty for now because I'm not finding anything in my stash. At least this pocket, leave it empty. I've got my mushroom, I'm gonna decorate the tab, and that's gonna leave a place for me to tuck something in later. The vellum, I think I will keep my carnation card as well. We'll just give that a quick ink. And tuck this inside here. And what else do we got? Do we have something else we can kind of put on the... I don't know if those colors are working for me. Let's see, we got this leaf. I like that one, how about that? Let's see how that looks when it's all flipped down. It's kind of cute poking out there, huh? All right, more vintage photo. Keep it simple. There we go. Quick glue. And then for the tabs, as you can see, I've been doing a lot of rhinestones and things. There we go. I need to put something on those and just kind of make them fancy. Let me see what I have in my stash. All right, so I decided to go with buttons. Just to add some more texture. And I'm gonna do, this is a different page, but there's this little tab sticking out with some washi tape and a rhinestone. So I wanna play off of that so that it all kind of goes together, but also is different. So I've got the rhinestone, a purple button, and then this clear acrylic kind of fancy button. It's a little fat, but it should be just fine. And I've got more gold washi that has different patterns on it. So I'm just gonna grab a couple little strips of this to go on the tabs, and then I'll put the buttons right over top, just like I did on that one. And there we go. So our washi tape. And then we'll glue on our buttons really quickly, right in the middle of each one. Or do we get crazy and put it off to the side? Oh, I've done it. I don't know if it was a mistake or not, but we'll find out. There we go, there's our purple button. And our clear button. So I think this is going to be it for this video. It went a little longer than I usually go. I'm really happy with the pages I worked on today. I'm gonna finish up the 1 or 2 more things on this journal, and then I'm gonna film the final flip through. So keep an eye out for that video. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.